Here we go. It's episode 3 already of... Wait, we've decided to change the name? Just like that?
Wow.
Formerly, this was Hop Talk.
With Jeff.
Now it's... What did we decide on the new name of? What?
Just shut up, man.
Just shut up, man.
What the hell are you saying, Jeff?
This is Hop Talk. This is Hop Talk,
All right,
episode
it's still
3.
Hop Talk.
We've got Dietrich, Scott, and Alex from Indian Ladder Farms. We've got our brand new producer today, Bart,
Yep.
stepping in
Bart.
for
Hey,
Ian.
Bart. I believe it's Bartholomew the Third. Thank you.
We hope that Ian's doing well and can make it back for future episodes. But for episode 3 today, we're going to talk about what to do when everything's dead.
No.
All right.
That's not.
Well, first we stab them.
Yeah.
Then we tattoo them.
Okay.
Then we hang them.
All right.
Then we kill them.
That's episode 3. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. No, I want to talk about it's the end of harvest season at Indian Ladder Farms and throughout this area of the hemisphere.
We've brought in the goods.
The goods have been brought in. You've worked. The fruits of your labor have been enjoyed, are being enjoyed. So now you just kick back and do nothing until planting season. Am I
let's
right?
get fermenting.
What? Fermenting?
Let's get fermenting.
Yeah.
That's also going to be the name of the podcast.
Yeah. Let's get fermenting with
So
Jeff.
it's only for men? It's not for women?
No,
fermenting?
No, it's not like hair club.
Huh. Interesting.
But I am the president.
You take all the things that you gathered all year,
Okay.
all summer,
Uh-huh.
and you ferment it.
Where?
Here,
Well,
there.
Yeah, wherever we can.
Wherever you can ferment.
Yeah.
Usually in vessels of some kind.
Either stainless or wood.
We're here in Alex's cider producing area at Indian Ladder Farms. I'm next to 4 tanks. Are there things fermenting inside these tanks?
They're already fermented.
They're already fermented.
Yeah. These are known as bright tanks or grundies. So they're portable bright tanks. Basically, you can
It's where the carbonation
you
magic
chill,
is
you
happening.
chill and carbonate.
A bright tank in the industry is known for like
Bright beer tank.
beer ready to be packaged
Okay.
And
All
or
right.
cider.
and or cider.
Beer
Well, in this
and or
case, it's
cider.
Bright
Wine
beer
producers, same for them, or are they a special
No,
breed?
wine producers don't carbonate.
That's probably just a packaging tank.
Okay.
They'd probably call it a packaging tank.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. See,
Which
we're,
is basically the same thing. We just don't carbonate.
we're learning already,
And if you
listeners.
are.
carbonate, you messed up somewhere.
So,
But Jeff,
yeah.
you were about to ask, gee, once those hops have come down
Right.
off and what do we do next?
what do you do next after the hops have come down?
Well, we nap for a little while because, as you know, hops are soporific and we're very tired.
Yeah.
But after that, we wake and have some beer, and then we send all of our hops, in this case, out to be pelletized.
Okay, so I immediately think of wood pellet stoves. You
Oh,
got-
they actually end up looking like rabbit food.
okay.
For those of you who've had a rabbit or a guinea pig,
Or know someone that did.
yeah.
Or
I
does.
wouldn't. Don't get
Rest
a,
in peace.
Yeah, don't get a guinea pig. It's a terrible pet.
Teaches kids about losing a pet.
Oh, is it? You know what? It's time to transition over to that. Let's talk about your lost guinea pig, Dieter. These are important things we need to get off of our chests, or we carry them around for the rest of our lives.
I've gone to the guinea pig well many occasions, Jeff, because I tend to repeat my mistakes. So as a child, I had guinea pigs. If you have, I say guinea pigs, then you have hundreds of guinea pigs. Have you ever seen the Star Trek, The Trouble with Tribbles?
I haven't. No.
Yeah. Well, if any of you have seen that those are basically guinea pigs.
Okay.
They multiply like crazy until the point you
What are
want
you
to
talking about?
I'm
You've never
immediately
seen The
regretting
Trouble with
the guinea
Tribbles?
pig question.
No, I've seen Big Trouble in Little China. Is that the same thing?
No, not at all, actually.
Was Kurt Russell in it?
I'll tell you right now, if Stuart's listening to this, he knows.
Spoon, trouble comes running. What are we talking
Anyways,
about?
guinea pigs, terrible
Right.
idea. Don't get them because they're always pregnant and then they have like 70,000.
Is there any truth
And
to...
they live for like a week.
Now, you say that these hops, they end up getting pelletized.
Yes.
And they look like rabbit poos. Is there any...
No, not like the poo.
Oh.
Like the food.
Like the...
Other end.
Are you telling me the rabbit poo is not food?
Well, for my dog it is. It loves
Okay.
it. Like jelly
It looks...
beans.
Okay, so it looks like wood pellets. It looks like rabbit food pellets.
Yes.
We got the idea.
Here, look. I'm going to open some for you.
Please do.
So, we send it out to a facility that does this. That's all
Where?
they do. For us, it's Northern Eagle hop pelletization in Oneonta, New York.
Okay.
So it's not too far for us.
Huff that
A
nitrogen.
hop, skip, and a jump, if you will.
That's not how I'm getting there.
No,
That's probably the best way to...
Scott, come on.
No, I get it, but I'm not getting that.
Skip and
No,
a jump.
you don't understand. That's the only way he travels.
Oh, look at he presenting
So, yeah.
these
This is
in
the
a-
first time I'm smelling this year's hop harvest.
Oh,
Or
so
harvested hops.
They're okay. It looks exactly like rabbit food.
Yeah. Like I said, the other end.
The other end, exactly.
food, not food.
They're the exact same color that the hop would be when it
Yes,
comes
but a
off
rabbit
of.
would not like to eat that. Don't eat that.
Don't eat it.
Don't eat that.
Why?
Stick it to. Just touch it to your tongue.
Okay.
Is it extraordinarily bitter?
It's got extreme bitterness to
Are
it.
you sorry you did that?
I can't get it out quick enough.
Wash it down with some beer.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. See, that's concentrated hops right there.
Oh, so that would be like a 100 IBU beer. Am I learning nothing
it
here?
would be way more than 100 IBU.
Oh,
beer.
really? Okay.
You probably just had a 7,000 IBU beer.
Yeah, but the human can only taste up to about 100 IBUs.
Oh,
You,
so
you could do like a 700 IBU beer, but it's gonna taste like a 100 IBU beer.
okay, so
Put it
that's
this way, it's just gonna be still really bitter.
the basic unit to measure it is 100 would be the most, but since that's all our brains can handle. Okay,
And nowadays,
got
a
it.
lot of people don't even add hops to the kettle, so they might do like
0.
2 or yeah.
You send your hops off to Oneonta. They
Yes.
end up turning them into these bitter, bitter little pellets.
Yes, and what that does is it is stabilizing the hops so that we can, and making them smaller.
Okay.
Because, if you've seen the hop cones, and if you have to store those big bags of cones, and we like to keep them refrigerated or frozen, sorry, I was fidgeting.
Is it
Scott's
fair?
taking my toy
Is it
away
fair
from
to
me.
say that one of these pellets, which again, if you can imagine rabbit food, about that size, is that roughly one hop right there?
It's like
It's probably yeah, it's
Four
probably
hops
I would say
condensed into
easily
this.
4.
Wow.
Yeah, because they're getting ground up, pulverized, and then put through an extruder, and this way they'll last a lot longer when we freeze them. So it puts them in a more stable state for Scott to use them.
You get them back. How long after you send them out do you get them back?
It's
It's
usually
probably a couple weeks.
2 weeks at the most, depending on what date they tell us to come pick them up.
And this same plant, is that what about lab testing of the hops? Is this the same place where they do that?
No.
Why?
So, why? Because they don't have a laboratory there.
Okay.
They just have a packaging facility.
They might have a laboratory.
We hope that they have proper
actually their
facilities.
laboratory there is pretty gnarly. I used it once. It's kind of gross.
How would you on a 0 to 100 level? How many?
I don't know if we need to follow through anymore with this.
Good bathroom.
Okay, so we do a couple of different lab tests. So we do a pre-harvest test. So we're going out and into the hop yards, and we're picking hops from various locations of the same variety, and then we send them to a lab. In this case, the lab is in Madison, Wisconsin. We overnight them, and as soon as they get them, they email us back a result, and that result tells us how close we are to an estimated picking date. Gives us
Cool.
what our moisture content is, and then it gives us a breakdown of what the current oil content is and the alpha and betas, and then there's usually a scale that tells us a range. So we're ready to pick, in 2 days, 3 days, a week.
I don't know if I'm going to be kicked off as being host of the Hop Talk here with the gentleman from Indian Ladder Farms for asking this question, but has there ever been a crop that's totally unusable?
Oh, yeah.
Complete, nothing out of it whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it happened
That's a
this
nightmare.
Year.
That happened this year.
Happened
I thought this was the best year
Golden.
ever.
3 times
Different
this year.
varieties.
2 times this year.
And how many different varieties you have again? 14, 15, 16 different varieties.
You were good at 14.
14. Okay.
Good job.
There
I
was
planted a
escalation
couple,
there, Jeff.
so you didn't
There
know
was
there's
escalation.
16 out there.
Yeah, and we're actually, next year we will only be doing
12.
12. No, less than that.
11.
11. We're
11.
actually going to eliminate 3 varieties.
Why?
They just
suck.
don't do well for us.
Yeah, they don't produce any.
Well, actually, no, we're
anything that
getting
we
we're
can
getting rid of
Calypso?
Calypso too. So we're on the East Coast, right? And a lot of varieties we're getting here are West Coast hops, and they just don't do well in our microclimate. They have some, they get too stressed, and then they get wiped out by insects or by fungus, or they're just incredibly low yield. And being that we have a pretty small hop yard, we would like our yields to be considerably higher than what these varieties are producing. And aside from that, our brewer doesn't even like some of them, so what the hell?
Oh, I kind of like them.
No.
It'd just be better, like, these
You
hops
said
that we're looking
you
at.
said Centennial sucked.
I don't like Centennial.
Okay.
So you're getting rid of Centennial?
Oh no, we're keeping that. Just
Oh,
to
you're
irritate
keeping
him.
that.
Yeah, no.
Because
We are getting rid of it.
Calypso's out.
Calypso's out.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Calypso has a virus, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
We can't treat it. We can't fix it.
Well,
So,
it's just like the state of our world right now. It's,
Pretty much.
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's got a virus.
But we're actually trying to do something about it.
Shots fired.
We have a plan.
Yeah, we're also gonna get rid of Styrian Golding.
Well, no, wait a second. Your plan is to eliminate it, to get rid of it.
Still a plan, Jeff. They didn't say it was a good plan.
All right, so where were we? We got them out to get pelletized in Oneonta.
All right, so now once we've picked them, right? And because we did a test to find out when is going to be the optimal time, what we're looking for here is oil content. That is the key. We don't really care about the alpha and betas. We don't care how bitter they are or whatever. We're looking for flavor profiles. Yeah. So, like when Scott looks at the tests, he's looking at, so once we send out our second test, once we've harvested what we feel is the optimal date, and we dry, and then we send out another sample. And that sample gives us, we pay more for that sample. We have the oil content broken down into an entire list. And then that tells Scott what he needs to do, aside from the shadow puppets he's making right now.
Right, I'm confused by that too. But I try to pay attention to this very scientific process regarding alphas and betas and oils
Yeah.
and.
Scott, knock it off.
I was actually signaling for the princess to
For more
grab
beer.
my phone because I want
I
to show you.
get it.
I want to show you like a result that we have.
Oh, he has them.
I do
Oh, you do?
actually
Okay.
have these. Yeah, well, we sat around waiting for you for 45 minutes, Scott.
I know, I was brewing
we
beer.
prepared for this podcast
Well,
today.
I kind of deferred. Thanks,
Okay,
Bart. I guess I don't need
so
that. I guess he has the hop, the
I have-
analysis right there.
What I have up in front of me here, and is this available on the internet if someone wanted to take a look at what we're looking at here? It's a Hop Aroma Quality, AQ, Certificate of Analysis, which is addressed to you, Dieter,
Yes.
at Indian Ladder Farms. This sample that I have is of Brewer's Gold,
Yep.
Which is the hop you have right in front of you.
which is this one here.
Yep.
Brewer's Gold. See, we planned, Scott, while you
I
were
know.
brooding.
I know we even put labels on it.
Yep, this is brilliant. Okay, So can people look at this on the internet? Is this something? Is this just
No,
insider?
we have not put our analysis up on the internet.
All right. So what we're looking at here is
How organized do
basically.
you think we are?
It's like if you went to the doctor and you got your blood work done and you get back your.
We generally don't put that on the internet.
No, you certainly don't. But imagine that's what we're looking at here.
Yeah,
There's moisture analysis. This is the alpha and beta acids by spec. Let's run down this. So moisture analysis, you got 8.1% moisture. That seems weak. That seems low.
No, that's what we want for. We want between 8 and 12% moisture because that's going to keep the pellets in a nice. When you squeeze that pellet.
Yeah, it turned into a fine powder.
Right. So we don't want it to be wet. So if it's above 12%, you're going to squeeze it and it's going to mush together.
Okay.
So and we don't want them too dry because then they're too hard. So when when he puts them in, he doesn't want them to remain whole.
Yeah, right.
And he doesn't want them to be like kind of rancid from being too wet.
Okay, so this is just right. 91.9% dry, 8.1% moist. Let's.
It means we did it right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It was properly done.
If I know that one of society's biggest pet peeves is the word moist. So if we just want to go around the room real quick and everybody say moist in your own way.
Well, actually, my biggest pet peeve was when I was growing up. My dog named Bert. He had the biggest pet peeve.
What?
That's good. That's good. Alex, please say moist, however you would say it.
Moist.
Very nice. Dieter?
I don't have any issue with the word moist.
No, I wasn't suggesting that any of us
You
do.
were looking at me. when you
Moist.
said it.
You're straight across the table from me.
Oh, that's why.
What is this, like ASMR or whatever it is?
Moist.
Moist.
All right.
It's moist. With
So
Jeff
no one
flavor.
wants to play my. Scott, did you do it?
Moist.
Bart? Moist. Bart. Strong new
Freaking
executive
moist, okay?
producer we got. All right, so we go down the method here, the hops, the moisture analysis. Up next is the alpha and beta acids by spec. I only know alpha and beta, what that means because of wolves. So hops have this, an alpha and a beta. One's in charge, the other one follows. What's up?
Well, alpha is your bittering acid.
It's my bittering acid?
It could be your bittering acid. It's also the hop's bittering acid.
Okay.
So it's like you have if you have a hop that has 14% alpha, you're gonna expect something very bitter, and usually you'll use that at the beginning of the boil just to give some bitterness. But once again, it comes down to betas, where that's kind of gives you more of your aromatics and flavor.
I see
But
here.
what we look for specific oil contents, which you'll get to in a second.
Okay.
If you keep scrolling down.
On this certificate, next to the alpha and beta acids, NT, North Tonawanda, the Buffalo, New York area. What does NT stand for on this? Not tested?
No tits, I think.
No tits.
No.
Well, I wouldn't expect.
tomorrow.
I wouldn't expect. Not tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue down then, since I stumped you. Hop storage index.
Ooh, that's
the
a good one.
HSI.
HSI.
If you could only see on this podcast how these guys perked up.
Oh, wow, the HSI.
Why are you
I
so
mean,
excited about the HSI?
Well, sure. Tell it, Scott.
Yeah, well, the thing about the HSI, so usually big hop growers will put their stuff into bales before they send it off to pelletize.
Okay.
We don't do that. We do it right in a super sack, and they basically put a probe right in the middle.
Sorry.
They stick a moist probe in the middle,
Okay.
like a gentleman.
He added the moist part.
But yeah, they check in the middle of your crop pretty much and see what what the heat is in there, because of course, if you have a moist product, fermentation can kick off. So it's the same thing with like a bale or something. Like that. You stick your hand in there. Further you get in there, it feels very warm.
Right.
And when it warms up, it's fermenting, and you're also degrading a lot of your essential oils that you're looking for.
So that's what hay bales are doing when they
Burning down barns.
burning down barns.
Yeah.
They're just trying to ferment.
Yeah,
They're
that's
just
what-
trying to be a good fermenting hay.
That's what
Comment
happens.
about it.
That's what happens. That happens with hop bales all the time, and the HSI also gives you a kind of lets you know how the hop is going to degrade over time.
Yep.
Okay.
So let's say you buy 40 tons of Citra because you've lost your mind.
Who hasn't?
You know?
Absolutely.
And now what are you going to do? You're only going to use 4 ounces. So you've got all this damn Citra. How long is it going to last in the freezer? And that's what the HSI tells you. It gives you a scale as to how that you know in 6 months from now that you've bought way too much Citra and you're not going to be able to use all that damn Citra in the time that it's going to degrade.
You guys love this hop storage index number that you have here, 0.276.
There you go.
We throw these numbers around.
You love that, don't you?
Well, yeah, yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good number.
What's that's such a minute number. What would be unacceptable? Point.
I would probably say, I don't know, anything one and above.
1. Unacceptable.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, let's move down the analysis list here. Essential oil by steam distillation. Another one that you're excited about.
Yeah, that's
This is where it's at.
when you get down to it's really the only thing we freaking want to know.
It's the money
The rest of the
shot.
numbers are like, oh, that's great.
Uh-huh.
But for us, because of we're growing, and our oil content changes every year, we want to know what it is. And if you go on to the next, there's another page where that oil is broken down even further.
Oh, so you get a sub-analysis of the oils.
And that's what we're looking at.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay. There's a lot of information here on this sheet.
Yes, there is.
There's a lot of info.
So that is really what Scott's looking at when he's making a recipe.
Okay. I like it. It says here that there's 3.35 milliliters per 100 grams of essential oils. I'm reading that correctly? Does that make sense?
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot. Is there any other use for these hop essential oils? If you were to extract it, not use it for what, people like to use essential oils for all kinds of things. Is this the same kind of essential oil here that everybody crazes
Well,
out
if you
about?
want to go around smelling like a hop, sure.
Who doesn't?
Rub
Why
that
wouldn't you? I
all-
love the smell.
You rub that all over your body.
You say that like that's unappealing. I think the smell of hops is amazing.
Well, if you took it that way, I'm sorry. I find it very appealing.
Put it in your diffuser.
Yeah, could you? That's my question.
Totally.
You totally
Hand them
could.
the Citra oil.
Okay.
When I wash my dreads, I actually throw in a little bit of hop oil that we got from Hop Oils.
You live it, man.
Oh, yeah.
You live it. I love it.
Hop
You're
soil.
entrenched in
Hop
it,
soil. There's a
Scotty
Z
the
Like
brewer.
Pennzoil.
There's a Z in there.
Yeah, and some of the, they break these down into their terpenes. And we were at a conference, we were in San Diego at a conference where they actually opened some tiny little vials of terpenes on a room that held what, maybe 200 people?
Yeah, it was a big room.
Big room, and they open these little vials, and they're literally like a half-inch high. They open these bottles on the other side of the room, and you could smell them instantly on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
So if I open this right now, we're gonna be okay?
You might
Yeah,
start a
it's-
fire, but
it's
that's
fine.
about it.
Oh my God.
One that'll never go out.
That'll clear your nostrils.
Oh yeah.
That'll do the job right there. I can feel that sniff in the back of my throat.
Take a little, put it in your beard.
Take a little and put it on my beard.
But you might fall asleep though.
Really?
No.
No, you'll be all right. Yeah, all right. Just keep your eyes open.
Yeah, you're pretty strong,
There you go.
aren't you?
All right.
you go.
We'll see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the beer chicks are
Episode
gonna
number
be
4, I
all
might
over
be.
you.
Yeah, you better be fighting off the beer checks later.
Yeah, that's like Axe spray for beer.
Ooh, mama. That
This
is.
is like
Oh,
man-
that's Farmer's Axe spray right there.
Yeah. And, well, I
That's
say,
hop growers.
This
I
is
say
like night
women
and
and
day.
nice young men. I don't know.
This is crazy.
All right, let's pick back up
So
here.
Let's pass that over. To,
I'm enjoying looking down this.
So we just opened another one of the hops we're very pleased with this year. So you just
This
have
is
Brewer's Gold,
incredible.
and this is Columbus.
Okay, Columbus.
And we are just loving the Columbus this year.
Now, is this named Columbus because it's from the Indies? It's from why? Do we know? Do we know what the etymology of the name is
It's a
here?
conqueror of natives.
Okay.
Jesus.
Well,
It's a
I don't like
it's a
it
racist
anymore.
hop.
It's our racist hop.
No, it's
No, I don't know why it's called
Ohio.
Columbus.
All right.
Yeah, it's from Ohio. No,
It's
we don't know its history. We
it's
just know
about
we like it.
50% darker than the Brewer's Gold.
Yeah, so you're going to see that they have very different. I mean,
I'm gonna guess before I open the analysis paperwork here that means a higher oil content. Come on, give me
a higher
something.
moisture content too.
yeah, it
A
does-
higher moisture content
Yeah,
as well.
if you break apart that pellet compared to the Brewer's Gold, that pellet breaks up a little bit easier.
I can't wait to do it. Easier.
Easier.
You say that the Columbus oh, it does break up a lot easier.
Uh-huh.
Yep, absolutely.
A little bit
All right.
more moisture, but there is so much more of it that it's hard to get everything consistent. But
All right, I'm gonna try and
still
do a
good.
side by side here of these two. So you got a higher moisture content, you got a higher oil content.
Yeah.
The hop storage index,
Your HSI.
I would imagine it's higher because you've got higher moisture
little bit.
content. Okay,
What is it?
well,
Yeah, you have it right in front of your face.
we're not looking
point
at it.
0.320.
That would be higher because that's higher than 2.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Let's.
One more. That's one more.
One more.
That's one more.
One more?
Stinky.
It is.
Are
Stinky.
we looking at a third hop here now?
We
Yes.
will.
Okay.
We will. So, so if you go back to the oils,
Yes.
so some of the things that you'll see are the lindenol and the
Linalool?
Draniol are something that people will recognize because it's like geranium.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
And so that's some of the ones in there are so minute that it's very hard for us to pull them out. They're more of a combination of things, but things like geraniol are something that you can describe to somebody and they can smell it.
And
Yeah, no one can smell carafenylene.
I
Yeah.
mean, myrcene.
No, you can't
Is
smell
that-
myrcene. It has no.
Yeah.
Its numbers are
It's pretty high.
nearly 400 times higher than some of the others.
But-
Myrcene is present in cannabis, like a lot, primarily.
The
too.
one thing Alex decides to
Yep.
chime in about,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the
pothead.
myrcene is when you're fermenting or you're boiling, it usually just dissipates. So of course your brewery is going to smell amazing if you have a high myrcene content, but it's not going to translate into the beer.
Oh, okay. I like that. So the better smelling the brewery, not necessarily the better tasting beer.
You can't.
You say
really-
that? Will
can
you say
really
that?
Smell myrcene? I don't
Yes, in Yakima.
know. Yeah. So
Makes everyone crazy out
yeah.
there.
So there is some theories about myrcene that
Where'd Mark go?
large concentrations of myrcene make people loopy,
Yeah?
crazy. And so when you go to some place like Yakima, and Yakima, as we've discussed before, is 70% of the hops are grown in Yakima. And when you go outside, the whole place, just reeks of it. And Yakima has kind of a reputation of being the Wild West and kind of crazy. And some people speculate it's the amount of myrcene in the air.
Well, it would seem to me that science could prove that or disprove that.
Well, there is some. The speculation is based on scientific study.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that anybody's done complete psychological analysis on it, but
I've got a third hop,
Yeah, this
the
is-
pellet that's just been placed in front of me. This
this-
one, the darkest of the three.
this is the Helderberg hop. This is our proprietary hop.
Let me ask you that. Maybe it's just coincidence. Maybe one has been sitting around just a little longer than the others. But this is just all pure pellets. The Helderberg hop is the Columbus.
I think if you look at dry matter on that, it's probably lower.
So that's the deal there.
Yeah.
It keeps its form a lot better.
Yeah.
All right. This is your proprietary.
Yes.
This is the you have the right to shoot somebody if they come onto your property and take this hop.
At least
We can offer them a
According
shot.
to current law.
well, we'd probably persecute them in some way.
Cool. I
I
like
wear
that.
their shoes and make them watch.
The
Yeah.
11% moisture content. on the
Which is-
Helderberg.
Yeah, that's it's in the range. We want between 8 and 12, so it's actually higher than the Brewer's Gold.
Well, it's within your threshold.
And
It's where you want it to be.
That's what we want.
The essential oils 0.91, nearly 1 milliliter per 100 grams. Scott,
I know.
that's why you love this hop.
Oh, I love this. It's like, it's so nice because it has like this weird like peppery kind of thing, a little bit grassy, but when you brew with it, you get this amazing pineapple characteristic out of it, which is very unique, especially for being in, the Northeast.
Hands down, the most aromatic
Oh, yeah.
out of the three.
Yeah, we're very, very pleased with this. We've been working for 9 years to get this to the point of growing well and harvesting it well and getting it timed right to get it to pelletation and all that. And this year, just things went well.
A good year for the Helderberg
It's a
hop
good
and
year
others.
for the Helderberg. Last year was a disaster.
How quickly it turns around. And is it because of what
we learned things.
you learned? You corrected the.
We got one shot every year.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
And,
so
and
much.
then you go off of, previous years. Like, okay, don't do that, don't do that, don't,
Don't
do
do
that.
that. Don't do
Do
that. Don't do
this.
that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Now, do you leave well enough alone, or do you try and improve it even further for next year?
For next year, we will try to do exactly what we did this year, but we won't be able to because the weather will change, right? So we
You
will
would
try
think.
to adjust to, so we had very dry, it didn't really rain from the second week of July until the end of August.
When does hops growing season officially begin? Is it?
Well,
is-
we start burning and training and all that. I mean, we burn in end of March,
Yep.
early
Okay.
April. We start training usually the first week of May. Remember?
I do. Yes,
And that was a
DJ
Helderberg.
DJ
You
Squeaky
tra-
Clean and I
Yeah,
trained some Helderbergs.
Maybe that's why they're so good.
Well, thank you very much.
No. Thank you, and thanks for saying thanks.
Hey, that'd be a good beer name. You ever thought about that? Oh,
It has been
we
and
should
is a beer
mention
name,
that
ladies and
the beer
gentlemen.
you are drinking.
What? Pardon me?
That beer that you are having
This is
that
the-
you're gazing upon.
The Trailer IPA 2.
Yes, Electric Boogaloo.
Wait, I'm drinking that.
No.
This
no.
has the Columbus.
This has
in it.
Columbus
Yes, this has Columbus in it. So
Which beer am I drinking?
trailer.
That's what I
Trailer.
thought. Okay.
So Trailer has some of that Scott put in right before it went into the Oast.
Yeah. Yeah, they were all eating lunch, and they said, "Hey, you should come have a hot dog." And I said, "I can't. I have to brew beer."
Now this
So
is
I came and picked up buckets of hops that were just right in the dryer, right before the dryer got turned on. Threw them in and used them as like a hop back. My mash tun as a hop back because it has screens in there. Instead of putting it into a bag, you have more surface area for it. So right when you're done with your boil, you move it in there, let it do like a hop stand for about 15 minutes at a cooler temperature after boiling, and it kind of brings in out those beautiful little oils.
you chose to do that as opposed to having a hot dog?
We let him
I
have
would
one
love
later.
He did get one later.
Yeah, he had one.
All right. I mean,
It was
from
cold.
or 7.
being from Western Pennsylvania, the land of cure meats and other tubular type edibles, I take my hot dogs very seriously. So
Yeah.
thank you
So she don't.
for being a master of the craft. I'm gonna just pretend I didn't hear that. Let's go on down the.
I usually never turn down a hot dog.
Yeah, I hear you.
I usually eat about 8 of them.
God bless you. All right, let's look at the other numbers here.
Yet at a hot dog eating contest, he's leisurely.
Oh,
He
I
doesn't
remember
get the
you being a
contest
part.
part.
Yes.
It's like, I'm just here for the hot dogs. I'm not here to win. What's going on? Hey.
Where are we at here now? We're in the we're on the Helderberg hop, the proprietary hop for Indian Ladder Farms. Again with Dietrich, Scott, and Alex, and our new executive producer Bart,
third. Bart.
hanging out with us here.
The third.
Hop quality report is what we're looking at. The aroma qualities. I don't see anything that stands out here.
Nothing.
Look for the things with the check marks next to them.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. B. Panine.
Bee pining.
Bee pining. You said that already.
That was adorable.
That's got a check mark. I will not correctly pronounce any of these.
That's
so
all right.
sit down and be ready.
And there's a P in there, so you can pop your P.
Linalool. I got that one?
You did.
That's got a check mark next to it.
Yeah.
None of these mean anything to anybody outside of the beer or hop world, so they mean
we're
a
hoping that
ton to
maybe
you.
somebody will listen to this.
Well,
that
no,
would know what bee piney means.
Yeah. What else do we have a check mark next to here? Farnesene. Yeah? Okay.
It smells like a pharmacy.
Okay. We got all those.
You got linalool.
Humulene.
Yep.
Humulene
means it smells like hops.
Geraniol.
smells like geraniol. Going back to the geranium. And this has been signed by Zachary Lilla. There
Yes.
we go.
What a wonderful
Thanks,
lab.
Zach.
What a wonderful
he's a-
lab tech.
He's our new favorite lab tech. Go,
What
Zach.
what an interesting job. Does this place that does hops only?
No, they're actually a TTB certified lab, which
Stands
is the tax and trade bureau. Used to be what they were. Well, they broke off. Anyways, they used to be part of Guns and Dynamite and
The
liquor.
ATF.
Yeah, they used
part
to
of
be.
ATF.
Yeah, they were part of ATF. Now they're just taxation. But anyways, in order for the wine industry and for the cider industry, they have to have testing done for alcohol content. It has to be done at a certified lab. So they do wine and cider too, and hops. They also do beer, alcohol.
Do
They'll test your explosives.
with the connection between hops and hemp and things of that nature, these labs also, are they the ones that where marijuana is
They would be,
legalized,
yes.
but they would be the ones
Yeah,
doing
they
the
would
same
be
thing.
The same tests.
They're very busy.
Yes.
Appreciate that out
But
there.
it's awesome to be working with these guys because next year we're gonna have to do the same thing. We're gonna have to do
Yeah, it's
harvest
really
things
great.
and-
Their turnaround time is fantastic, and that's really critical for us.
So you've sent your hop off to know when it should be picked. You've picked your hops. You've sent them off for analysis. You've got them fermenting. What happens in the hop fields from this time of year, post-harvest, to spring, to March, April, when you start to train and all
so
that?
right now, I mean, what was really great last night, we had a good rain, so we cut the hops at chest high, so we're leaving a bit of the vine, and it will actually produce some more leaves, and so we'll let them go until there's a hard freeze, because we want you're kind of torturing the plant. I mean, so you're taking it at its prime, it's put out all its flowers, and then we go through and we cut it down. And then we say, hey, do that again next year, without letting it have any more photosynthesis. So we actually leave a section of the plant to grow new leaves, get some more photosynthesis, take in some more nutrients. After a hard freeze, we're gonna go through and we're gonna clean everything out of the yard. We're gonna cut it right to the ground. We're gonna burn all the weeds out of there. And then we're essentially going to leave it until the middle of March when we go back in the spring, and we'll actually start digging rhizomes off in order to start some new plants.
Is it possible for, whether naturally because of global climate change or if you were to manipulate it, is it possible to get 2 seasons in 1 season?
Absolutely not.
No way, shape, or form.
No, because the hops, I think we talked about this in a previous podcast. They're photosensitive, right? So,
But you could manipulate that, couldn't you?
yeah, you can, and there is, when we were talking to our buddy Dr. P about this, the
No photos.
no, don't take any photos. So when South Africa had its embargo, right? The apartheid embargo, where we were all like, hey, stop doing that. We're not going to import any hops anymore.
Yeah.
So they're very, very far south, so they don't have a very good hop growing area, because hops grow in the two, latitudinal bands around the earth. We're in in the best part in the north, and then there's a southern part, which includes places like Argentina.
So we're like what, 42
Yeah, something
here,
like that.
and so down to
Nailed it.
Yeah. So in South Africa, they're a little too far south.
Okay.
So they actually started growing hops under streetlights, and so that they could lengthen, their time, and they could adjust when the hop was going to flower by turning the lights on and off. And they've actually gotten their hops, according to Dr. P, and he's not here to correct me on this.
Although he has been invited for each and every episode, the offer still stands.
It's a standing.
That's why we got rid of executive producer Ian. Actually, if I can be frank with you all, we asked for Dr. P as a guest.
Well, I thought we got rid of him because he wasn't the third, unlike Bart.
But the streetlight
they've
experiment.
actually changed. They've gotten hops to acclimate to that growing environment where they're under lights, and there are some experiments out there where people are doing things. We've actually seen some of them in shipping containers and growing things at a higher rate of speed. But for the most part, you're not going to get 2 crops in 1 year.
Yeah, it's like indoor grown hops.
And the thing is,
right, okay.
and even the South Africans and all the indoor growing stuff, the yields are very low.
Okay, all right.
So in a commercial level, it's hard.
I want to shift gears a little bit here. Who stole the kishka?
The what?
The kishka.
The quiche.
It's my understanding that the kishka has been stolen.
Oh, I think it was Link Schmenovish.
And that's the end of the answer to that question?
I think it was.
What?
Are we?
He had the cabbage rolls, right? He came out with the cabbage rolls and coffee.
I have no idea.
Oh. I guess we're looking back.
No, but that was a question that I had for Dieter a while ago. I was like, couldn't
the
you just
quiche?
get a warehouse and like fill it with a bunch of grow lights and just string up hops and just grow them indoors? And it's like, that's not cost effective or anything close to being like what you could do outdoors with it.
Yeah, it's not like, even though
I keep going to the cannabis thing.
Cannabis is
Learn that weed school.
You can do that. You can grow several crops a year, and you can grow it inside. You get high yields and like that. But with hops, it's just not the same, even though they're related.
I've been seeing on social media the last few weekends. It's harvest, it's apple picking season, it's Indian Ladder Farms. You've been here for multi-generations of some families where, as a kid, you would come out here on a field trip or to an educational program or to pick apples, and now you are bringing your kids or your kids are bringing their kids. So with that many people that are aware of this place and the vastness of it and the quality, how crazy has it been the last few weekends at Indian Ladder Farms?
Oh my God! Don't come here.
Yeah. we're telling
begging you.
Yeah, and we're telling you as our friend, Jeff, do not come here on the
You could get hurt.
Have you ever seen? You've been to many festivals.
Yeah.
Imagine that every single weekend.
Every single weekend, it starts.
Thousands and thousands of people.
Well,
Dieter has
see,
to fly in via helicopter.
Yeah.
I would have
Woodstock.
thought with the pandemic and people not necessarily stuck with their normal work routines, that might have spread out the crowds a little bit. Maybe.
No, it's like
No
very
way.
concentrated on Saturday and Sunday. We're actually pretty busy on Thursdays and Fridays now too, but Saturdays are just crazy. I mean, we've had people come up and go, "Hey, so what's going on here? Is there something going on?" Or like, yeah.
What are you giving away for free?
You're it. It's like, this is it. It's like, look around. Just try to find a place to park.
Yeah. First off, you made it. First off, you made
Yeah,
it.
you're out of your car.
It's like when you went to Russia, people just, if they see a line, they get in it because
Yeah.
they're like, they're selling something.
Right.
Yeah. So like last weekend, my wife had to direct traffic and not in the parking lot. The donut line got so far away from the donut window, and the pick your own line got so far away from the donut shed that people didn't know what line they were standing in, and they got mixed up. So we had to herd people around to get them into the correct line, and they were in opposite directions.
I think it.
Why are you facing this way?
We're hurting human beings.
I think it makes sense because you remember the toilet paper shortage, right?
Well, who can forget?
Why would that happen? Why all of a sudden apples and cider donuts? It's because we're so uncomfortable in the world, I think, so uncomfortable with what we're dealing with, we have to hoard the things that make us comfortable, because if we lose those things, toilet paper, cider, donuts, apples, forget about it. So there's like some kind of instinctual need. We got to go get that stuff now. I don't care how long. I don't care if I'm standing out in the middle of Altamont Road, right where it turns from 35 miles an hour to 55 miles an hour. I'm going to stand in that road to get a cider donut, damn it.
Luckily, we have the local authorities to help out with that.
Good.
Make sure that people don't do that.
Don't stand in the road. Just don't do that.
But so the challenge has got to be massive, because you've got your farm here. It's not like the farm is expanding, buying up more property to be able to
We're
produce.
pretty limited on what we have.
Right.
It's 340 acres, and
So
that's it.
you can only do what you can do. You keep it so estate, you keep it so local. You're not bringing in outside products from the other side of the globe to produce more, but you have more people to
Yeah.
service. How's that working?
We're
We're
consistently
Deep
running
breaths.
out of product.
Yeah, we're running out of product all the time. We're trying to, we shouldn't be doing this podcast right now. Thank you, Jeff, for making us uncomfortable. We should be making products, and that's why Scott was late getting here.
I wasn't late. I was just
Well-
ready for tomorrow.
So what about ye old supply and demand? What if you just, what's a cider donut cost?
They should cost $60 each.
That's what I'm saying. There's, you're the business people. I'm not, but it
Well,
just
we're
seems
not,
to me.
we're not monsters, and it's like, oh, there's more people here. We're gonna hike the price up.
Well, so are you just, deal with the stress and be happy about it? I mean, there comes a point where, people may come for their beloved cider donuts, their beloved beer, cider, the food, whatever the experience might be, the apple picking, and it's not here for them. That seems like a nightmare.
There's always something for them. And that's, I think part of the reason. So right now, to get in our beer garden is a 4-hour wait on Saturday to get a table. And very few people say, oh, no, I'm going somewhere else. They're like, okay, put my name on the list. And then they go wait 2 hours in the donut line.
That's a good way to kill time and lose your appetite and be really hyper.
What did you do on Saturday? Oh, I queued all day.
Well, you've got
And
massive
Simon's
property.
running out of fur from being petted.
You could go for a hike for a little while.
You can go for a hike. You can go apple picking. You can go look at the animals. You can go in the store. So
There's a lot of stuff to do.
you can kill 4 hours.
Yeah.
And that is, you don't want to miss the opportunity if you come out to Indian Ladder Farm Cidery and Brewery to explore the property a little bit responsibly and follow the rules and regulations. But don't forget about the animals, because those definitely will take up a good amount of time.
And if you could not feed the animals donuts, we'd appreciate that.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah, there are some people that do that. I've yelled at some people.
I was
Yeah.
going to ask, everybody in the service industry loves to share their stories, and maybe sometimes it's on the other side of the swinging doors, but bring some stories to this side of the swinging doors. What?
Sometimes people buy 2 bags of donuts and they literally go and feed poor Maeve the cow a bag of donuts. And the worst thing that can happen for poor Maeve is for her to get so overweight that the vet has to come.
Do you think that it is that person's own selfishness that they think it's just adorable to feed the donkey or
think that
whatever,
they're,
or
I
they're
don't-
they're dumb?
Well, I don't think it's a malicious act.
Uh-huh.
I think
Or is
that-
it?
They love donuts. Why
think they
wouldn't
don't
the
like-
animal
It's just
love
ignorance.
How
donuts?
can you not like Maeve?
Right.
Love Maeve.
Okay.
It was like I watched a lady throw a donut at Simon's head, and it bounced off the front of his head and landed on the ground. And it's just like, that is so rude.
Now, see,
the
Simon,
most
I
That's
have
where you take a donut.
that
and throw it
really
at her
angers
head.
me. Simon's the only donkey that's ever licked me. So I
Oh, you're lucky because he does like to taste people now and then.
yeah, and I enjoy it, and I'm just very upset
Chompers.
that anyone would
He
mistreat.
does have teeth.
What about out in the orchards? You know, it's a very romantic thing for a young couple to come out.
Sometimes it's romantic.
Yeah.
Dieter, why don't you say?
No, but seriously,
why don't you give
has
us
that
some
ever?
stories?
I know.
I
I know a story about Farming Man Fest and something that happened. That's a different scenario.
Yeah, that's a whole.
I was
other,
young and I needed the money.
Little boy blue.
Yeah, sometimes people get a little excited out there in the orchard.
No kidding.
Those apple branches are perfect height for leaning over.
Oh, I gotcha. Now, I did see something on social media. I think it was Meg, your lovely fiance, who said that
What's she doing on the orchard?
you pick the apples, not the branches. Were people pulling entire branches off of the apple trees?
Oh, we get people climbing the trees.
You get everything.
Yeah. Anything you can think of, that's what you get.
Well, let me ask you
We've had
this:
furries here.
maybe someone's climbing the tree
Did
because
have
they
furries
see.
last weekend.
You had what?
Furries.
Furries?
You're not hip to furries?
There's so much I'm not hip to.
The people that like to dress up in large animal outfits.
Oh, love the furries. Yeah, I didn't know that that
would
was.
you have them come in for a cup of coffee?
I just call them like Mateo and whatever my friends' names are because they wear those.
Oh, maybe it was them. Does one of them dress as a goat?
Wow, you're dropping
Wonder
names.
Yeah,
what
right?
they're looking for
You a
because
furry?
Mateo's a furry.
Holy
No
shit!
way!
Absolutely.
You know furries.
Oh
No,
yeah.
when you said you don't know what
Holy
furries are,
shit! Was that
you actually know
was that
furries.
Mateo?
It could have been.
All right.
We have photos.
All right.
I'll message him later.
You do that. We're currently still in this pandemic, even though everything possibly that could be happening to get rid of it has been happening. We're all crystal clear on that one. But
There's a plan.
there's a plan. Let's talk about the challenges of running
Ricky in here.
an establishment like this where you are serving food, you are serving families, you are serving animals, you've got large
more
crowds
ways than
congregating. Well, maybe congregating is not the right word because clearly you're keeping people from congregating. How do you do it with the biggest crowds ever
It's a
in a
challenge.
pandemic?
They really, to be perfectly honest on it, it is.
We have a
it is
really good
super-
sharpshooter.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
A sharpshooter? Is that what you said?
Only after hours.
I mean, it's a proprietary hop.
Yeah, right. Yeah, stay out of it. Yeah, no, it's been a challenge of trying to keep people distanced, and that's why that's why there's a 4-hour wait in the beer garden because
Right.
of we've had to remove a lot of tables and we've had to move them aside. We can't have people standing around. You can only drink if you're seated. Yeah, everyone has to wear a mask, and I have to say that the vast majority of people have been very good about it. And even when people become lax about it, or if they're standing too close in line, or if they're standing at a table and drinking, if you tell them about it, they abide, especially if you tell them, we could lose our license and be closed. And they're like, oh my God, we'd hate for that to happen.
Right, now if
Because
someone...
because we're having a good time.
If someone's going to continue the argument after that, hopefully it hasn't come to that. What is it called in the bar and restaurant? Tips?
Tips training.
Tips training, right?
Yes.
That's where you not how to overserve somebody
Right,
and all this kind of stuff.
exactly.
So do you foresee
A COVID training?
being a
Well,
part of that?
I hope not, because
Yeah, that'd be insane.
But how to deal with
vaccine would be good.
Yeah.
how to deal with
That's
the
part of the
1% of
federal
people
plan.
that they don't want to put their mask on, they don't want to socially distance, people like that, like how to deal with that person.
We're very much that, we go right up to them and say, you have to wear a mask, and a mask can be provided. If you cannot abide by that, this is private property and you have to leave.
It's like instead of the
It's that
Miranda
simple.
law, it's like the Dieter law.
Endangering other people, and you're potentially screwing up our livelihood.
Yeah.
So we have to be firm about it.
If someone doesn't get that, then what?
Yeah. And unfortunately, we have some women here that are very tough about it. So
Oh, believe me, I have, with my mask on, done some things I shouldn't at Indian Ladder Farms, and I've heard about it.
Oh yeah,
I've
oh, you're-
heard about it.
Oh, I'm one of the owners of Indian Ladder Farms, and I frequently get yelled at.
I just looked down at my phone here and realized that we're probably at the end of this episode, episode number 3 of Hop Talk, Indian Ladder Farms with Dieter, Scott, Alex, and our new executive producer, Bart.
Yep.
But on my phone, I don't know if you noticed, I was breaking up the hops
You're
over
ready
my
to roll
phone.
a hop
Looks like I'm
joint.
ready to roll a J, man.
Yeah.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, don't smoke that.
I'll make you see.
Oh.
You know how you tasted it?
Yeah. That's how it would.
smoke that.
That's how it would smoke. There you go. There's our disclaimer for episode number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Don't smoke hop pellets crushed up. Thank you, Dieter. Thank you,
Jeff.
Scott. Thank you,
Bart.
Alex. Thank you, Bart. Thank you, Indian Ladder Farms. That's it for episode 3 of Hop Talk.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Click.
You've been listening to Indian Ladder Farms Cidery and Brewery owner-operator Dieter Gehring. Its head brewer, Scott Veltman, and its head cider maker, Alex Gill. The producers and engineers are Troy Pohl and Ian Carlton. Any questions, comments, thoughts, or suggestions can be directed to podcastilf@gmail.com. That's podcastilf@gmail.com. I'm Jeff Mo'rad. Thanks for listening. See ya!